What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about this game right here, Project 007. Is it time? Is now the time that this game could be shown off to the world? I want to talk a little bit about the timeline of it and talk about, of course, the potential for Summer Game Fest or something else, right? To quickly kind of nail that part, I've actually made individual videos on all of these games. So we had games like The Wolf Among Us, Tomb Raider, and 007. I won't rehash it too much, but there was an insider that talked about a very reliable one that talked about one of the three, at least one of the three, being at Summer Game Fest. Now, I personally think it's Tomb Raider, but a lot of what you say for Tomb Raider, I think, could really transfer over to this game. This game has just been more secretive, and I've said this before. If you actually look at those three games, individually, this is the game that I actually have the most confidence in. Tomb Raider, I feel like, could really go either way. I'm excited. I want it to do well, but I'm not, assuming it's going to be, the greatest thing of all time. Wolf Among Us could be canceled for all we know, but this game, look, it's almost been 5 years, and that's the reason why I wanted to talk about it. That's a reason why it's kind of brought up in some circles of, what the F is going on with this game. This game was announced, I believe, back in November of 2020, okay? So you're talking almost, about 5 years ago, this game was announced with this. I had that short, 20-second little teaser. They showed the logo. I think the logo was changed. I don't actually even know if this is the official logo right now. I think maybe it's in red, or maybe it was originally in red, and now it's this. Regardless, this is all we got. This is literally all we got. Now, it comes from IO Interactive, and the confidence that I have is, I don't know if I want to say, an all-time high, but I'm very, fine with the idea that it's them. I think it's perfect, actually, a match made in heaven of a studio that did such a good job and has for quite a while with Hitman to do 007. Now, the reason I bring this up is, again, 5 years, or almost 5 years. You got to do something. Now, I've always brought up them specifically showing it maybe at an Xbox event. And I guess the reason why I go Xbox is because I think about the idea of that dragon themed game where they're doing the medieval game that's supposed to maybe potentially be Xbox exclusive. Now, nowadays, Xbox has really, relinquished the care for that kind of stuff. So I don't actually think that game will be Xbox exclusive anymore, but still, IO Interactive, I'm going to assume, just for the purposes of me talking about it, I'll assume that they lean more towards Xbox. So when I think about the potential of showing off this game, I actually, again, even though this game is not supposed to be exclusive, there's no even rumors on it or anything like that. I don't know. I feel like Xbox would maybe be the place to be. However, again, this insider, one of the three, Tomb Raider, Wolf Among Us, or this game at Summer Game Fest. Jeff Keighley likes to do 2 or 3 big games, at Summer Game Fest. You're probably only going to get one of them, though, so that's kind of the issue. But again, it really just stems to me. I have a lot of respect for these individuals, IO Interactive, and I believe in it. Okay, I believe in it. However, I am a stickler for time and for dates. It's just something you can't erase from my mind. When you get to 3 years after announcing it, even if you didn't show a trailer, right? Wolverine showed the teaser trailer, but they showed a trailer and they're gone for almost 4 years. I'm not happy with stuff like that. I really want there to be less of a time, in between Kingdom Hearts, so on, so on. So this game, it's tough. And so, same thing with Tomb Raider. This is how they're similar. They're both announced. They're not really ever shown. You get a logo. Actually, with Tomb Raider, you didn't even get that. But for this, you get a logo. But they never, pushed it on you. They never said, okay, well, here's a trailer. See you in 5 years. But at the same time, you announce that it's happening. You show us this. And then it's been 5 years. I feel like it should be close, right? Most games take between 5 to 7. I mean, I really want to say 5 to 6, so I want to give myself that wiggle room. I think we're close. This is also a game I would not be shocked if when we see it, it comes out within a year. I feel, because if you're going to do this and you show it 5 years after, then you take another 2 or 3 years off and then it comes out, I feel like that's also kind of laughable. That's just the sense I get. Now, I've been wrong with this kind of stuff before, and anything can happen. A Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman gets shown. I think that it's further than it actually is. The studio's just in freaking disarray, and then eventually the studio shut down the game. Never even got close. This game, again, the confidence I have makes it different. I feel like there's not a Wonder Woman issue going on here, but still, 5 years, I feel like you should show it. So will it be at Summer Game Fest? I've always assumed no. Again, if I had to pick Wolf, Tomb Raider or this, I think it would be Tomb Raider. Just something in my gut, which maybe it's a reverse jinx. Maybe I think it's Tomb Raider, so it's actually this game. I'm fine with that. So you have that. The Xbox event is just a few days after. Again, like they got different priorities, and normally games that are at their show, most of them, I think people track these things. The Xbox event, around like 80 to 90% of the games are on Game Pass, like when they're shown off, even if it's not an exclusive game from them, they normally still say at the end like Game Pass. And that's a big thing with specifically the Xbox June event, is most games are on Game Pass. I highly doubt this would be. So maybe that eliminates it. Maybe, okay, that's not going to happen. Then you could go to PlayStation, or like, would it be shown off at Nintendo? I feel like a game like this would work on a Nintendo Switch 2. Like Hitman 3 would work on Nintendo Switch 2, so why not this? So maybe a Nintendo thing. But, I think they're going to do it somewhere else. Like, I guess they could just do it on their own, but I think a Summer Game Fest, a Game Awards, PlayStation, Xbox event, these make a good amount of sense for it. But I'll assume no, but I feel like we're getting very close. Like, we're at half a decade ago, we heard about it, and we have yet to see it. And behind the scenes, they're working. It should be almost done. So hopefully we see it soon. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.